2. Very beautiful is that body bride. Guru Amar Das, Adi Granth. All true mystics, those who have really searched for the Lord, have arrived at this one conclusion. Whatever truly exists, exists inside the body. If the Lord is to be found, it is by going inside. If someone wants to reach the inner regions and universes, again, the only way is to go within. Hindu sages call this body Nar Narayani Day, meaning that God abides in the body. The gurus call it God's temple. Christians call it the temple of the living God. Every single person who has conducted this search says that whatever creative artistry the Lord has manifested, it is all to be found within the body. The Lord himself is inside the body, and the whole of the creation, Brahman, is there too. Pipa says, "He who is in the universe, that also abides in the body, and whoever seeks, he finds him there." Whatever exists outside exists also within. Whatever is in the creation is also within the body. One could say that anyone who searches within finds the maker of all the creations. So here, Guru Amar Das is praising the greatness of this human body, the human form. Just think about it. The subject is very much the same, that without Nam, there is no liberation. Without a master, one does not get Nam, and without Nam, one cannot find the Lord. Only those he wants to merge with himself will find a master and Nam. If he does not want to merge them with himself, they will not find either a master or Nam. Very beauteous is the body bride, with whom abides her darling spouse. Footnote: body bride. When the soul in human form is passionate with adoration for the beloved, the Lord, then the body is most beautiful. End footnote. Nobody dares point a finger at a woman whose husband is with her. She is admired, she is faithful, she is fulfilled. Similarly, this body bride is very beautiful, but the difficulty is that her husband is not with her. Only that body, that human form, in which the husband has become manifest, is admirable. All others are bereft. Now, who is her husband? The sound or word, Shabad, the name, Nam, the melody, Dun. The only body worthy of praise is the one in which Nam has become manifest, in which the Shabad Dun has become audible. Cherishing the Guru's hymns, word, she becomes the happy bride of her true love forever. He says, once Shabad manifests inside you, you are fulfilled for all time. You will not have to go back again and again into the wheel of 84. The soul is a particle of Nam. If she manages to turn herself around, get hold of Nam and merge in it, that's all that's needed. She is united forever. People who get a human birth, adopt the method of Nam, work at the Nam practice, and really give their attention to Nam, it is they who fulfill the purpose of coming into the world. He says it is they who are to be congratulated. They are the ones who are worthy of Nam Bhakti. Ever dyed with the love of God's service, she burns her self-conceit from within herself. In their own way, everybody feels love, but when someone loves the one God and has established his relationship with the one, that person is in perpetual bliss and union. Until we join ourselves to the Shabad, we are subject to egotism, and as long as we are in ego, there will be bondage and pain. As long as we say, I'm doing it, there will be bondage. If we do good, the bonds that tie us are pleasant. If we do bad, the bonds that tie us are unpleasant. It's up to us whether we go on sitting here within the 9 doors, or we get instruction from someone, go beyond the 9 doors, and attach ourselves to Nam. If you want to go inside, you'll have to work hard. If we were to put as much effort into Nam as we do into the world, our work would be done and we'd be free of birth and death. We hear every day that the Lord is inside us, that Nam is inside us, that the Lord watches everything we do. But it goes in one ear and out the other. We're not scared. As long as there's no fear, there'll be no bhakti. Blessed, blessed is the Gurbani, the teachings or word of the perfect Guru. This is being said by someone who has tasted Nam. So Guru Amar Das says, I would sacrifice myself to my Guru, Angad Sahib, who gave me the understanding of Nam and enabled me to experience Nam. Nam is unparalleled. It is only through union with Nam that sins are destroyed. I am grateful to him and to Nam, to both of them. It springs from the perfect Guru and merges in the true Master, merges in truth. He says, I came to understand the name, the word, through the Master. The Master stayed by me, got me to work at the Nam practice, meditation, and gave me experience of Nam. What is the result? Before, I was stuck in the false. Kings are false, and so are their subjects. All of that is false. This word is truth. Guru Nanak says, true in the prime, true in the beginning of the ages, true he is even now, and true he verily shall be, O Nanak. The power that created everything is truth. It can never be destroyed. When we go out from the sphere of death and destruction and enter the sphere of eternity, we will never again be destroyed. Within the body abide all the continents, worlds, and the nether regions. Pipa says, he who is in the universe, that also abides in the body, and whoever seeks, he finds him there. This is what is said by anyone who has gone inside to search, not by just one person. They all say it. Guru Arjan says, the Lord is the master of millions of universes. We've been unable to fathom even one universe, and the Lord has so many universes like this one in his domain. The more we describe, the more obscure he becomes. There are numerous heavens, numerous hells and lower worlds. There are netherworlds below the netherworlds, and lakhs of skies over skies. If it were a question of just one or two underworlds, we might say something. But there are millions of lower worlds and millions of heavens. The Lord is limitless. So too is his creation. In the body dwells the beneficent Lord, the life of the world who cherishes all. Guru Amar Das says, within this body, whatever has been created is not just an imitation. Its reality exists there too. Guru Nanak says, by the Lord's order, bodies are produced. His order cannot be narrated. With his fiat, command, the souls come into being, and with his fiat, greatness is obtained. The one who made the creation, the one who takes care of all living beings, is inside us. Guru Amar Das asks us, who is it who fulfills all our daily needs? Wherever a soul is in a body, the Lord is there, providing it with sustenance every day. People say, we plant the crops and do all the hard work, so how does the Lord come into it? But I say, if there weren't any sun, how would your crops grow? Scientists have experimented with this. So now tell me, what would your efforts achieve in that case? Ever illustrious is the body bride that by the Guru's grace meditates on the name. He says, forever happy is that wife, the body, when the Shabad has become manifest inside it. It is blessed with eternal union. He says again and again that it is through Shabad that the body is created, and whoever goes inside the body and searches can find Shabbat. Within the body abides the Lord himself. He is undiscernible and can be discerned not. The invisible one cannot be seen. Inside this body, the unique one is seated, the Lord of all, who has no peer. Guru Amar Das says, if you are sitting within the 9 doors and your attention is scattered outside the eyes, he is alak, invisible to you. You won't be able to see him. And the methods you use to search for him won't let you see him. These techniques won't lead you to find him. The silly apostate, Manmukh, understands this thing not and goes abroad in search of him. He says they are Manmukhs, fools, ignorant. The Eternal One is inside them and they're out there searching for him. The child is in your arms. The town is on the alert. You're carrying your child on your hip, and meanwhile you're having announcements made in town that he is missing. They're searching exactly where he is not, instead of looking in the place where he is. In the same way, some people run off on pilgrimages in their search for the Lord. Some run to temples or mosques. Others busy themselves turning the pages of books. The Lord is within, but people don't try to go inside. The very first verse of Japji Sahib says, by pondering, man cannot have a conception of God, even though he may ponder over lakhs of time. This endeavor is not about thinking. It's precisely the intellect that keeps people stuck outside. You should put the intellect aside. So long as you hold on to your cleverness, you won't be able to go inside. It's as though you've been sitting in front of a photograph of the world ever since you came out of your mother's womb. And now when you sit in meditation, that photo comes before your eyes. Get rid of one photo and another takes its place. That's why it makes no difference whether you're educated or uneducated. In fact, the uneducated are better off because when you tell them something, they quietly go away and act on it. It's like the man who comes up to you and says, I want to go to Beas. You tell him, this road goes to Beas. And half an hour or 3/4 of an hour later, he reaches Beas. Another man comes up and he too says, I want to go to Beas. You actually point with your finger to show him the direction to Beas, but he stands there arguing and says, have you ever been to Beas? Isn't there some other way? He keeps on talking, but doesn't go there. All that time wasted to no purpose. That's the mind of educated people, always restless. He who serves the true Guru obtains permanent peace. The true Guru has shown me the unseen Lord. Guru Amar Das says, the real devotees are those who serve the Master by going inside and attaching their soul to Nam, according to the Master's instructions. He says, join yourself to Nam inside. If you do this, you're a true devotee. For people who remain within the 9 doors, he is alak, invisible. For those who take instruction from a master and go inside, he is lak, visible. For those who ask, he has no form, he has no shape, so how can he be found? He is indeed invisible. But there is something to him, this Lord who is talked about so much. Guru Amar Das says, the Lord is ever close at hand. Deem him not distant. Under Guru's instruction, through the Guru's word, realize God within thee. In the body are the invaluable wealth and the brimful treasures of the Lord's meditation. Innumerable priceless things are there, lying inside this body. He says, inside the body where you find lust, anger, and so on, you also find forgiveness, discrimination, patience. Those things are there too. Inside each person is a treasure trove of love, a storehouse of devotion for the Lord, lying there, brimful. There's not just a drop or two. There are oceans full to the brim. Within this body are the 9 regions of the earth, shops, towns, and streets. Within this body are the 9 treasures of the name, and they are attained by reflecting over the Guru's word. The whole universe is there inside us. Guru Amar Das says there is another wondrous thing inside the body. And what is it? It is Nam, the bestower of the 9 treasures and the 18 supernatural powers. People run after these psychic powers, but he says that if we have been given the wealth of Nam, we should not use it for such things. If you have taken instruction from the Master and have attached yourself to Nam, attached your consciousness to the Shabbat, then for you, this is the highest possible thing. Let other people get involved in psychic powers and so-called miracles. The most precious thing in the world is Nam. We must follow the current of Nam all the way back to where it is coming from and merge with it. That is the supreme thing. Within the body, the Lord estimates the weight of your virtues, and He Himself is the weigher. He says, the Lord of all is seated inside you. He is the one running the factory. Guru Nanak says, priceless are thy merits, O Lord, and priceless thy dealings. Priceless are thy dealings, and priceless thy treasures. This whole stanza is about the giver of Nam. At the end, after Guru Nanak has spoken all about Nam, he says that the Lord Himself is inside us doing the weighing. The goods are within, and the one who is doing the weighing is also right here within. Inside you a shop has been set up, and the goods are being sold. This mind is the gem, jewel, and ruby, and great is its worth. Now, the whole world obeys the mind. There is no enemy like the mind, and no friend like it either. Once the mind gets a taste of Nam, I tell you, it will help you go inside just as much as it now pulls you out. Guru Amar Das says, under the sway of the mind, everybody is suffering. They're all running around in the wheel of 84. But from the day the desire to return to our true home arises, and because of that desire, an opportunity comes our way and we become attached to it, from that moment, the mind falls in love inside. After that, it constantly urges on the soul, come on, hurry up, let's go home. Says Kabir, my mind is thus pleased. When my soul, mind, is pleased, then recognize I the Lord. For whom is this teaching or way of thinking meant? It's for us. If we accept it with our mind will stop running out. It will become a prisoner. We'll even say we have imprisoned it. Anyone who has brought the mind under control is above everybody else. That is why they say Nam is the supreme thing. One attains not the name at any price. The name is obtained by reflecting over the word of the Guru. What is higher than everything else? Nam. That is what is holding everything together. Nam is present in every mote and every leaf. What is this precious thing that cannot be bought at any price? It is Nam. Nam is unique, without a peer. It upholds the entire universe and looks after all of us. Guru Amar Das says, you can't buy it. Its price is that you give up your way and accept the Master's way. But it's difficult to give up our own way of thinking and accept His way. Even if someone tells us of a good thing, we try it on the quiet, saying to ourselves, okay, let's see what happens. If it works, we keep quiet. If it doesn't work, we go and complain. Swamiji says, this mind is so ignoble and irrational, it does not realize that the Master is a friend. That's the mind's nature for you. It doesn't even accept the Master as a friend. But go on counseling it, explaining to it, Go on putting the medicine of the Simran of Nam in its mouth. When the consciousness withdraws up to the knees, something has been accomplished, and you will give more time. When it reaches the waist and then the eyes, something more will be accomplished. Otherwise, a day will come, death, when you'll be dragged inside, like it or not. But what's the point of that? You'll still be in debt, stuck in bharam, illusion, and confusion. And why be in debt? Do this while you're alive and see. Then illusion will disappear. He who turns Guru-ward searches his body. All others have gone astray in doubt. Guru Amar Das explains, searching within the body is not a job for manmukhs. Their whole aim is to stay absolutely outside the body. People who give up their own ideas and accept the thinking of the master are gurmukhs. People who cling to their own opinions are manmukhs. He says, inside you is calmness, contentment, forgiveness, patience, peace. If you throw out your own ideas and take on the teaching of the master and go inside, you cross to the other side. And who will be left behind? The manmukhs, the ones sitting outside. They're all lost in illusion. We all work hard, but we're sowing seeds out of season. Guru Arjan says, the seed sown out of season germinates not, and man loses all his capital and profit. What does it mean to sow seeds out of season? Doing any practice other than working at meditation on Nam is sowing seeds out of season. Doing good deeds is creditable, but it doesn't give liberation. Do good, you'll bring about a harvest of good fruit. Do bad, you'll get a harvest of bad fruit. There is only one way out if you want to be released. Go to an expert in Nam. Get Nam. Go inside and attach yourself to Nam. There's only one practice for liberation. Go inside and attach yourself to the Shabad. When you go inside the body, Nam will manifest and the light will be visible. It will all be lit up. Guru Arjan says the same thing. Contemplating the name, there is the light of millions of suns, and the darkness of superstition, delusion, vanishes. As long as we sit outside, we are sitting in the sphere of ignorance and delusion, and we go on suffering. Delusion and pain are two words for the same thing. He to whom the Lord gives, that man alone obtains the name. What other cleverness can be of any avail? Now, after speaking so much in praise of Nam, he says, the Lord himself is the one who gives us the path. It is his sweet will, his Maj. The fact is that both the path of the mind and the path of Nam were made by him. It's like a puppet. When it finds out there's a string behind it and someone is making it dance, it starts dancing to the command. But the puppet that hasn't seen the string, hasn't gone inside and seen the string of Nam, remains caught up in egotism and goes on suffering. He says this work is not about cleverness. If somebody tells you to use your wits to go inside, it's just not possible. Guru Nanak says, man may possess thousands and lakhs of wits, but not even one goes with him or avails him in the Lord's court. This subject is not for the mind or the intellect. If something is inside a room, we cannot find it until we open the door and go in. So it's the same situation here. When you open the door and attach yourself to Nam, everything comes before you. And if you sit outside saying, the Gita and the Bhagavad say this, the Vedas and Shastras say that, and these other scriptures speak like this, you take care of your own interests, but you stay outside, completely outside, and you have nothing to show for it. In the body abides the Lord's fear and love. By the Guru's grace, the mortal obtains them. Unless the mind feels afraid of something, you won't succeed. That is, awe and love always go together. If there is awe, love is right there with it. If there is no awe, then there is no love. If there is respect, there is fear. If there is no respect, then there is also no fear. Once you start putting someone down, your friendship is broken. It's like the wife-husband relationship at home. As long as they live in love, their friendship continues. If they get into poking fun and making fools of each other, their friendship will break. Guru Amar Das is saying, if you want to go inside, remember, be respectful. Kabir Sahib also says, be fearful of your actions, be fearful of the perfect master. Fear is the philosopher's stone. Fear is the essence. The one who fears will be saved, and the ignorant will be thrashed. Look how far Kabir goes. Fear is the root. So long as we don't feel fear, what kind of devotion do we have? In the world, as long as people fear death, they love the Lord. Otherwise, when they see a dead body, they say, those who were to die are dead, and we who are young are left alive. As long as they forget death, lust and anger will continue. So understand that the Lord is present with you everywhere. If you know He is right there with you, you won't be able to do any wrong. Maharaj Singh, used to say that when a child of 10 is present, we don't sin. So we don't even fear the Lord as much as we fear a 10-year-old child. Guru Arjan says, what man does by day and night, that is recorded on his forehead. He from whom he conceals it is with him and sees his acts. Within the body are Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, who are said to be the creators of the whole world. Guru Amar Das says there are 3 other powers that work inside the body, the one that creates the world, the one that looks after it, and the one that destroys it. They are called Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, and they run the affairs of the whole world. One crop is finishing, while another is maturing, and a third is being born. The true Lord has staged his play and has subjected the world to birth and death. This is the Lord's game. He made a game of running the whole creation, of creating, sustaining, and destroying. That is his game. And Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh are doing their work according to his will. It is even mentioned in the scriptures that they have no idea who their father is. The unique divine Mother-Master, the One Mother, formulating a plan of propagation, installed 3 approved disciples. 1, the world's creator Brahma, 1 steward who gives sustenance, Vishnu, and 1 who has the disposition of destroying, Shiva or Mahesh. He beholds them, but they see him not. This is the greatest wonder. Footnote: the One Mother, referring to Maya, the mother of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, according to Hindu mythology. End footnote. Now, in this India of ours, people bow down to Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, or Shiva. Some people give them one form, some another. When they haven't attained liberation themselves, how can they liberate others? So Guru Nanak says, let go of them all and catch hold of Nam. The perfect true Guru himself has shown that emancipation is obtained through the true name. Good people, go inside and attach yourselves to Nam. Attach yourselves to truth. As for Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh, it is the Lord who is running the whole show. That body which serves the true Guru, the true Master himself embellishes. So what is the conclusion? Guru Amar Das has throughout kept emphasizing the same thing. If you are given a human birth and you hold on to the hand of the Master, if you become attached to Nam, then your human birth is fruitful. If you remain stuck outside, you make a big mistake. What does it mean to serve the Master? To act on his instruction. And what is his instruction? To go inside and attach yourself to Nam. Then the body is cleansed, anger and lust exit from within, and you become fulfilled and whole. Then you do not come back into birth and death. And who gives this gift? The Lord. You start inquiring about the whereabouts of the Lord's home. You find someone who has knowledge of the Lord. You get Nam. Without the name, man finds not refuge in the Lord's court, and Yama distresses him. He says, listen, people, without Nam, no one can go to the court of the Lord. Only through Nam can you enter his court. He says that if you don't attach yourself to Nam, you'll remain in the sphere of Kal. You'll go back into Kal's wheel again. Nanak, he on whom the Lord takes pity obtains true glory. Footnote: Nanak. All the masters in the line of Guru Nanak use Nanak in the signature line of their poetry, attributing everything to Guru Nanak. End footnote. Guru Amar Das says, if you want glory, if you want to go back to the home you came from, then attach yourself to Nam. This world is false, and Nam alone is truth. Then he says again that bringing someone out of the false and into the truth is nothing but his mercy. Without the Lord's will, one doesn't get Nam. What do we need to do? Go inside and become attached to Nam. Liberation will take place, and birth and death will come to an end, provided you've been given the wherewithal for going inside. The teachings of Radha Soami openly state, do both worldly work and spiritual work. But if you spend your whole life in worldly concerns, you won't produce even a straw to take with you in the end. That is why he says, earn your living and work for your spiritual earnings too, for that is what goes with you. Earn your keep in the world, but work at Nam as well.